The 1-0 hit high to center field. Watson going back, waiting on it. Makes the grab for out number 3, and the Tigers win and sweep the Auburn Tigers back to the Plains with a 9-1 victory here today.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tigers Roar here on Pelican Sports TV. I am Tommy Krysan. I'm joined by Mr. Jordy Hultberg, and it's kind of a baseball kind of thing this week, Jordy. How about those LSU Tigers? Some people wanting to write them off a month ago. That team not going to Omaha. I might even blurted that out once or twice. They're in control of where they want to be, and they can still reach any and all goals.
Won 8 of their last 9 conference games. They've got the big series in Starkville on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 1-game lead over the Bulldogs. They win 2 out of 3. They win the West. If they get some help from the Kentucky Wildcats, maybe, just maybe, they win the outright. But I think they have secured for themselves, unless they really take a swoon, I think they've secured a regional host. Now the potential for a national seed still out there, but they got some wins to gather.
Yeah, certainly I agree with you 100%. They will be a regional host, and depending on what happens this weekend in Starkville, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and by the way, all 7 SEC series are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with the SEC tournament starting in Hoover, Alabama on Tuesday. So what they do in Starkville and what they do in Hoover could vault them into a national seed, or it could keep them from being a national seed. I don't think they can lose the regional host. I mean, if they lost 3 to Mississippi State and got,
beat the first game, or is it a double elimination?
Well, it's single elimination the first day.
Right.
Then it's double elimination for 3 days. Then it goes back to single elimination. I mean, you got to read a book to figure out how they do it.
So
let's just say they don't win any more games.
Right.
Let's say they lose 3 to Mississippi State and lose before winning anything in Starkville. It may depend on what some other people do, but I think based on
we don't
the
think
whole
that's going to happen, though.
No,
we don't think that's going to happen.
And look,
but look, it's important, I think, that you get to be one of the first or second seed in the SEC, because then you get the bye.
The top 4.
Top 4 get a bye into the SEC tournament, and when you have still question marks about your depth in your bullpen, and the less you have to get out there, the better you are.
Todd Peterson threw on Tuesday night, threw 59 pitches and got the win against Northwestern State of the Southland Conference. They're going to need him in Hoover. He's going to start a game in Hoover. Which one, I don't know.
No offense, but he'll be pitching against SEC teams. Northwestern State is not a good baseball team. No, it's not a good baseball team. So take all of that with a grain of salt. LSU, the best thing they did was get that game over with. Had a scare. Dykeman at first base. I thought, oh my gosh, you can't lose him. And apparently he is 100% and good to go.
Well, and here's the thing about the SEC tournament. It starts Tuesday. 12 teams go. Alabama and Tennessee, or Alabama and Georgia will be the 2 left out. Then the top 4 teams have a first-round bye. They don't play till Wednesday. On Tuesday, there will be 4 games between the seeds 5 through 12, single elimination. You lose Tuesday, you're out.
Yeah.
You win, you advance in, and then now it's double elimination on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's back to single elimination on Saturday.
It's crazy.
They want 12 teams there. Yeah. If you just took 8, it would be a lot
What's
different.
the over-under on games starting on time? Impossible.
Slim.
Yeah.
Slim.
Impossible.
Especially when you get into the evening. If you got that 4th game, and this may alter our local radio program, and depending on what's happening next week too. But sometimes you don't know till the night before, morning of.
I guess they're not going to be playing at 7 in the morning, are they?
Not 7 in the morning.
Okay, so
you'll be okay on WUBR. So anyway, a lot still in front of this LSU baseball team, and we'll talk about that tonight. Jordy, we also want to talk about the Tiger Tour. Had their Baton Rouge stop earlier this week. And I know they save these things for when they have the tour so that the people who pay the money can hear it first about a possible sports bar and food court in Tiger Stadium.
The beer area, that's gone. And it's not going to happen this year. It's going to happen the following year.
Well, the FCC meetings are at the end of this month down in Destin.
Right.
It'll depend on whether something happens.
Too quick of a
there.
turnaround.
The much talked about nutrition center is now going to be
what I didn't
done.
understand with the food courts / sports bar. Once you're in it, you can't leave it. So are they going to be selling separate tickets for that? or because once you're there, you can't. I guess you can't leave with food or drink. I need more explanation.
They're gonna need a policy manual.
Yeah, I need
okay?
explanation.
'Cause there's a lot of layers here and a lot of hoops to jump through. And can you buy a beer in the fourth quarter? I mean, if you and I are sitting at the table, can I go get a round of beer? You go get a round of beer.
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be a lot of issues that have to be dealt with in advance, and then something will pop up after.
I was pleased to hear that within the next 5 years, they're going to. That's what you're going to bring up. They're going to finally do something to Pete's Palace, and those ramps leading up will be gone, and they'll have more. They'll expand outward. They'll have more of a kind of like if you've ever been to the Smoothie King Center. There's an area where it's glassed in. You can walk around. There's a gift shop. That you can buy stuff. You can get food, drinks, tickets, all these type of things. So it will look great. They'll probably lower the attendance, the capacity. It says 13.1. Probably have to lower it by 1,000 or 2, but that's okay. That's okay. 11,000 in that place would be quite rambunctious.
Well, I don't have any problem with dropping the capacity a little bit. Put some premium seating,
Right.
some club level seating,
Right.
which will more than compensate for the rows they
That's
got to
right.
take
That's
out.
right.
Okay, and let's be honest. In the last 25 years, that place has been packed to the rafters maybe 5 times, 8 times.
Probably 10.
I remember when Arkansas and UCLA came in the
Yeah.
mid-'90s, you couldn't put another person
Right,
in there.
right.
That's when Mike the Tiger used to roll in there the whole bit. So, but okay, less than 20 times in 20
Right.
years has it been filled to the
Right,
rafters. So I'd rather have capacity 11,200,
Yeah,
have it
right.
full, have some
No
premium
question,
seating, have
no
some
question.
club level,
That's
have
right.
a renovated place, and it'd be a good problem to have if tickets are in demand.
I'd rather
That would mean they're winning.
I'd rather sell a hamburger for $1 than sell it for $5 and nobody buy it.
Yeah.
So that type of thing.
And that would mean they're winning if tickets become
That's
tough
exactly
to get,
right.
and
That's exactly
that
right.
would be the good trade-off for a few less
That means
seats.
Will Wade's doing his thing.
Yeah, Will Wade. We'll hear from him tonight. Also, the Saints conducted a mini camp. The NBA draft lottery has come and gone. The NBA playoffs. We're in the conference finals. Plenty to talk about tonight. So what we want to do is get to a break. I got to mention, we will also be joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com and Ronnie Rance of Sports Shorts Radio, Sports Shorts TV, and the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame Foundation as well. So let's get to a break and get back and start getting into some more Tiger baseball stuff for you. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Chrysant, you're watching Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
I couldn't hit a lick.
Accord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Accord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Accord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Accord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
up to the skies. I see desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net.
We continue with Tigers Roar, and as we like to do, it's time to tell you about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Jordy, you got the floor.
The best meat and seafood market in Baton Rouge. 751-7665 is their number. You can go to the website, tremontis.com. What do you like? They've got it. They've got it. Memorial Day coming up. Boy, they've got the great charcoal. They've got the Primo barbecue pits with all their Chairman's Reserve beef. If you're into chilling and grilling, Tremonti's is the place to be. Yes, we still have crawfish in abundance, so you can call them, get in the queue for that. Big Mother's Day weekend, they sold a lot of crawfish. So I would advise you go to tremontis.com, see for yourself all the daily luncheon specials that they have. They're pre-made meals that you just stick in the oven and for 30, 40 minutes. Your family is fed like kings and queens, and it's so simple and so easy. But go to tremontis.com. Mike and his staff, they really do a great job, and they've been in business now for, 12, 13, 14 years, and they just keep growing and growing and growing, and they do a tremendous job.
Highly recommended, no question about that. Jordy, certainly we're going to talk a lot of baseball tonight. As I mentioned, we'll have Brian Lazar, we'll have Ronnie Rance, and real quick before we kick to some football stuff, LSU Mississippi State, I can't call it a rivalry because Mississippi State doesn't view it that way, but it always seems to be a thing in football and basketball. Mm-hmm. It's very competitive in all sports. There's a little extra spice, to steal Buddy Sanji's term, in this year's series with Andy Cannizaro leaving in November and going to Mississippi State. John Cohen, the AD, the former coach, he and Paul Mainieri didn't exchange Christmas cards. Mm-hmm. I'll be nice and say it that way. Nor did Andy Cannizaro, based on the way he left out of here. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the way it should have been. I'll leave that at that. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you're adding that, storyline into two very good baseball teams. State's been banged up a little bit. They've had a lot of pitchers. They got like 8 pitchers getting Tommy John surgery. Right. So, but they got Brent Rooker, who could be one of the best players in the country. He may win the Triple Crown in the SEC. I know we're in the middle of the horse racing Triple Crown, but he may win batting average, home runs, RBIs in the SEC. So it's going to be a special series, LSU, Mississippi State.
You combine all that with the two best fan bases, baseball fan bases in the league. That's a fun ballpark, and they get rowdy and all that and stuff. And so it makes for very interesting weekend. There's no question about that. I'm concerned about. I'm thankful for LSU in the fact of what you mentioned about all the arms from Mississippi State. They started great, but you notice they're starting to tail down a little bit. They don't hit the ball that great for an average. LSU is getting hot at the right time, like they always seem to do. Let's go in there and win 2 out of 3. Let's see what happens.
Well, I was on the radio with Scott McKinney in the Florida Panhandle this morning, and I got some questions about LSU Mississippi State. That'll be a tough ticket. We talked about LSU basketball hopes it's a tough ticket in a couple of years. That's going to be a jam-packed. You ever been to that ballpark?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there for games, not LSU games. When I was voice of the Lions, we played up there one weekend. So I've been there for games.
Don't they barbecue out in left field?
Oh, the left field lounge, they call it.
It's great.
It's quite the experience.
See,
it's college baseball at its best.
I disagree. I think it is a rivalry, and I think it always has been with Polk back in the day and Skip. I think it's always been a really good rivalry in baseball.
Well, and in Mississippi State, although they never won the College World Series, the Will Clark, Rafael Palmeiro, and numerous other big leaguers that have been through there. Yeah, I'll put it. We can put it in the rivalry category, not the rivalry of all rivalries.
No, I understand, but it's amazing how maybe these schedule makers are geniuses.
Yeah,
they've got Florida and Kentucky 1 and 2 in the East playing this weekend, and 1 and 2 in the West for all the marble. That's pretty good scheduling.
Yeah, give the schedule maker a little star on his collar.
Man.
Now, speaking of Mississippi State, you're going to love this segue. The first conference game in football for LSU is Mississippi State. So let's talk a little LSU football. Right. The Tiger Tour's been going around the state. I know they've made numerous stops. I believe they have some yet to come.
They do.
It's not just a football tour. Will Wade's been there, Beth Torina. I mean, they've had Nikki Fargas, Dee Bro.
Yeah.
You've had other coaches there. It's not strictly a football thing, but football is what everybody wants to talk about. And it's already started, Jordy, the quarterback position. As you and I have talked, you said it best. Minor and back procedure, minor and back surgery should not be in the same sentence. Mm-hmm. Danny Etling, now they're coming out and saying he was a little hurt in the spring. That's why he didn't look all that great. The quarterback position in Tiger football once again rears its head as it has for 75 years.
Ed Orgeron did come out at the Tiger Tour in Baton Rouge and said, once healthy, Danny Etling will be very hard to beat out. So, you can read between the tea leaves. Etling's going to be the quarterback, but Brandon Harris was the quarterback the year before, and he did not perform properly, and so then Danny Etling got his chance. Miles Brennan coming in, they're going to open up the door and see what he can do. If the kid can play him. If they can win for you, let him play him. Let's get the best guy out there. And he said, quote, game manager. That's all we want, game manager.
And I think with the fact that there's a new head coach in Ed Orgeron, a new offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, open this thing wide up on August 1st, okay?
Yeah.
All you guys have a chance. We don't know who's starting September 2 against Brigham Young. We don't know. You're going to decide that on the field, in the meeting rooms, in the film room, the whole bit. So it could be you. If you want it, show us that you can handle this and move this team up and down the field. That's what I think they should do.
And I agree with you 1,000%. And I think that's exactly what they will do because, again, competition brings out the best in anybody, in any sport. So open it up, give everybody a fair chance, and the cream will always, to steal the old cliche, the cream will always rise to the top, always.
And whoever it may be.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Get the best player out there.
The guy that was here and redshirted, or he was here and didn't redshirt, or he's brand new. Whoever can do the best. And that's what all coaches are going to put the best guy out there. But this is truly wide open where there are times at LSU and other colleges where you know who the quarterback's going to be. I don't think LSU knows.
Matt Canada came out and said that everything we threw at them, he's very pleased at what's happened. Dave Aranda, I find that interesting, but when you really look deep into it, you can understand what he was saying by didn't have Arden Key and lost a whole bunch of players. So rather than have that stepping stone from year one to year two where you can expand and grow more, he's basically had to start from scratch again because of the youth, counting on a lot of freshmen to play. So he's kind of starting anew again.
Okay, I got to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. I'm blindsiding you a little bit, but you can handle
it. It's okay.
I got blindsided this question this morning in the Florida Panhandle. What's the status of Artis Key? There was some Tiger fans down there. There's plenty of them, from Panama City all the way back over the Gulf Shores, and they said, what's the plan for Arden Key? And I said, the only thing I know is what Coach Orgeron said, that he's expected to rejoin the team in early June and do the strength and conditioning and weight training. Is that what you're hearing, or are you hearing anything different?
I'm hearing even sooner. I'm hearing a week from now. He'll be back in the fray, so a little bit before the end of May.
All right, we got some stuff for you from the Tiger Tour stop earlier this week. Lots of information in here for you on a variety of LSU sports and things that are happening on the field, as they say, and off the field, as they say. From the Tiger Tour, here's some LSU stuff for you.
The day you decide it's okay, the day you decide this was good enough is the day you're not getting any better. So to me, it was never good enough. They did everything we could have wanted. They worked extremely hard. They bought into the system. Each guy in our room has a different skill set. They're better at certain things than others. obviously, to back to how we coached them early, each day it got a little bit better, a little bit different because we had different guys doing things they liked better than others. So if we were putting in QB run stuff one day, then that was great. The other stuff was better, with a guy who was more of a drop back guy. So each guy had a better day sometimes based on the offensive plays we were putting in at the time.
Fans really shouldn't judge the offense by what they saw in the spring game. I mean, you guys kept it pretty vanilla, would you say, or how would you evaluate?
Well, we had 4 scoring drives. The game was about 2.5 quarters, so we actually scored 20 points, with our ones against a great defense who's seen us a bunch. We didn't run up and down the field maybe like we had thought we could. We missed some plays. Again, I'm disappointed every time we don't score, every time. So I'm sure there are. We're playing, what everyone thinks matters. We want to represent LSU in a class way. We want everybody to be proud of who we are. We had as good a spring as I've ever been around. The way our kids acted, the way we installed the offense, the way we were productive in certain aspects of the game, from red zone to third down. I was thrilled with that. As a staff, we were thrilled. Our players couldn't have done more. Our coaches couldn't have done more. And we have four coaches on offense I never met until I got here. So you look at what we did by getting it all installed, being efficient. So I was thrilled. We were thrilled as a staff. The spring game, we went inside and did some things y'all didn't get to see that. So that's too bad. Too bad the weather came. Everybody got to see a little bit, but we're getting ready for BYU. We've said that from day one. That's what we're doing, and we're going to keep working on it.
I'd like to be able to say that, I look back at last year and the basics were really stressed. I thought we really emphasized teamwork and everyone knowing their role and playing to their help and playing as a team. And we spent a lot of time on that. Really played 3 defenses throughout the year. About probably less than a fourth of what we had in Wisconsin. And so you'd like to be able to come back in the year 2 and say, naturally you would think we're going to add this, we're going to add that, we're going to expand. But we're starting all over now. We're counting. We didn't have Arden in the spring, obviously, so we're 8 new guys. And so whether they're freshmen or they're redshirt freshmen, we have a fair amount of seniors that haven't played a lot of football as well. And so starting from the ground up, just really teaching, and it's very similar in a lot of ways to last spring. And so in terms of getting lined up, where your eyes go, how to play technique, the difference is last year we had guys that played a lot of football, and so if there is 100% capacity in terms of knowledge and savviness, some of them were 60, 70% filled. And so we could fill in our 30% with what we're doing and then try to work with the other 60 or 70% that they had, try to make it work as best we could. Now we're talking about guys that are 5%, 10% because they're brand new, and so they don't know that they don't know that they don't know, and so you're just continually adding in. So when you are approached with something like that, and an offense like what Matt is doing, there's going to be some ugly days early on. I thought we got better and better.
Do you like that in some capacity? Like, this is an empty mind I'm going to fill with all of my system, and not, is there some perks to that?
There is. I think, there's benefits the other ways too. Mm-hmm. But I think, this way, like you don't realize the things that you have to teach when they're that young and they're that new. Whether it's 3rd and 1 and expect a QB sneak quarterback under center. There'd be times last year, to be honest, I wouldn't really make a big deal about it, but Kendall Beckwith and Duke Riley and Gottschall, they'd see that and they'd play it, as they had been there and done that before. Coach Chapis or someone had mentioned that. The guys we're dealing with now, if I don't say it, they don't know it. And so you're coaching everything. So it's even a slower pace than
How excited are you for that 17 guys to come?
I'm excited, and they're excited. And we expect most guys to be in. The only one I know that won't be in right now is Tyler Shelvin, because he's going to summer school. I expect the rest of the guys to be in. And then we start football school June 1st or 2nd, so it's going to be wonderful.
I wanted to ask about that football school. What is that?
We're allowed 2 hours with them.
Yeah.
2 hours with them in the classroom. And we start implementing our offense and defensive schemes. It'll be the first time they've been in a meeting with our coaches. They'll join the other team. Really, we'll have our full team, most of our full team in the first team meeting, and it'll be the 2017 football team ready to go.
Is it 2 hours per week? Is that
2 hours per week.
Right.
We allow football.
Right.
They allow 8 hours per week.
Right.
Okay, but 6 hours go
They'll
to
be with Monty.
weights. Yeah.
And Tyler Shelvin, when will he get here, you think?
I think he'll take through summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're confident that he'll eventually get here?
Well, he's got some work to do.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he will be.
Okay.
And same with Arden. He's still on track to be back with this team, correct?
As of right now, yeah, he's still on track to be in summer school. I expect him in summer school, but there's still some things that he got to complete. He does that, he should be fine.
In talking to him, you feel like he's maybe learned a little bit through this experience?
You know, it was something that he wanted to do, he needed to do. I wanted him to do it, and he's done it. So I see a change in him. You know, he's up to 255 right now. It looks good. He's ready to go. Very eager.
Speaking of these signees, Caleb Vaughn was one that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
Could you take us through real quick? You found he wasn't even playing football, right?
Yeah.
He was playing basketball.
Yeah.
Tell us about that camp
Yeah.
before his junior year. What do you remember
Yeah,
about?
we're the first ones off. He
Yeah.
bought me a Arden Key.
Right.
Tremendous athlete, can rush the passer, can dip the tip, great quick twitch player, and he ended up having a great year that year. Actually helped his team win the state championship and became one of the best outside linebackers. You know, I like to be first to offer. If I see somebody that we like, and that was a great example there with Caleb Chasson and also with Tyler Shelvin. We were the first to offer both of those guys.
Family was raised here, right? I mean, he was
Great.
your son.
Yeah. You know, we lived there for 10 years. The boys have a lot of friends here. This has been a tremendous community. Kelly has a lot of friends in this neighborhood. A great place to raise kids and live. We still have a home in Mandeville. We're very proud of it.
What is it about this place, that area where you said, you know, I want to settle down here with my kids?
Family. You know, it's just the family atmosphere we got, the great schools. You know, we had a great coach in Guy McCall. Our guys had a tremendous career here, and we loved it.
Just coach, the early signing period is improved. Just what are your thoughts on that?
You got to deal with it now, you know. But here's the deal with the early signing period. People don't realize, and I said this before, the manpower it takes for signing date. I mean, it's all out war the whole week. You know, guys are flipping, doing this. Everybody's concentrating on signing day. Now, during the signing period, you're practicing for a bowl. You may be playing for in the finals, maybe playing for a championship. It could be a distraction to your football team in preparation. So we got to learn how to handle it.
How important is this spring evaluation period for your assistants out on the road right now?
Big time. All our guys out on the road right now, we're coming in tomorrow and have a midway recruiting evaluation meeting. It's going to be very important to go out and see what we have there. Obviously, we have a tremendous recruiting class right now, but we still have some big holes we need to fill, especially on the offensive side.
Do they go back out Monday, I guess?
Yeah, some of them go back Saturday. There's some jamborees on Saturday, and some of them actually are going to be out Friday night. So this is a big time period for us to be in games.
What will y'all kind of do in that meeting Friday? What's that meeting about there?
We'll go over every player that they want to see. They have a questionnaire that they fill out, and they have an evaluation tape that they make. And we'll discuss where we're at with the young man. There were some new players that we need to discuss. We'll look at the board, see where we're at, identify needs.
I know you talked a little bit about it this offseason, especially on the Tiger Tour. Danny, you know, had the procedure done. How much do you think that really did affect him through spring, and how much do you think it's going to make a difference?
I really think that towards the end of the spring, it started to affect him. Then his stuff, but you see the spring game, he wasn't himself. But I expect him to be back full speed very soon.
I would also ask, just being kind of in, you know, your hometown, it's the off season, spring's over. How comfortable are you just in this setting? I mean, you know, the Tiger Tour, you've been all over the state, but now you're kind of back home on your own.
It was easy. I went home to get changed. Saw the boys, came here, got under traffic on 190 like everybody else. But you know, it's the first time I've been to this hotel, but I see a lot of friends, a lot of people in town that we've been friends to us for a long time here, 10 years living here, so we like family.
As they say, you can talk Tiger football year-round. You've seen it, I've seen it. It doesn't matter whatever the day in May it might be. And, of course, the SEC meeting's coming up. Couple of things. We talked about the two-a-day practices going away. They're talking about changing the redshirt rule. And that could be very, very significant. And
play 4 games and not lose it.
Yeah, and it could be any 4. It has to be among the first 4.
Right.
Current rule.
Right.
But like a coach, I believe it was Coach Mullen at Mississippi State, ironically, and I didn't plan that, said, you know, what if in game 6 or 7 you decide to take a red shirt off a guy, you need him to get out on the field, it helps your team. you play him in Game 6 and he gets hurt in the first quarter. Well, he's wasted an entire year under the current rules.
Right.
Under the future rules, he could still get that red shirt, even playing in a bowl game.
Right.
Now, I think the playoff rule is different. You play in
I would
a playoff.
imagine that would be the case.
Okay, because remember,
I would imagine you wouldn't play them in a playoff game because if they were that good, they'd have been playing from day one.
Nick Saban pulled a red shirt off Travis Daniels, defensive back, in the SEC title game.
Yeah, that's true.
I recall that against Tennessee, and you were on the sidelines.
Yep, I remember that vividly.
Kid said, "Hey,
and he was good."
He said he played in the NFL for a while. So whatever's best for the team, coach, and he agreed to pull his red shirt off. I believe they played Tennessee in that game.
Yes, that's correct.
So, that's looking at being changed to be voted on in June. So college football, it's always present, but there's some significant changes coming up.
I remember you mentioned that Tennessee game. I'll never forget walking into that Georgia Dome, and this was before LSU. LSU was new to that dance. They didn't know what to do. It was 90% orange. I couldn't believe. I said, "Oh my God, we're going to get killed." It was 90% orange. Well, LSU fans learn how you buy from the other teams in the secondary market, and that's never been a problem again. But what about a team that there's 8 games into the season, 9 games into the season, and they got no chance in the conference, and they're trying to get to 6 wins to get to a bowl game. Hey, let's get ready for next year. And you play some of these young kids that haven't played at all, we're thinking about redshirting, and you don't blow their. So it's got some positives, I believe.
It almost makes you think, like, why did they think of this earlier? Why didn't somebody think of this real smart guy think of this 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I believe you should have 5 years to play 4 regardless.
Okay, you mean just you can only play 4 years, but
you got 5 years to get it done.
I mean, I was redshirted, okay, and you had to sign the paper that
you must not have been any good.
Well, I was a young guy.
I was a young guy.
No,
skinny guy.
You were a lot better. You were a lot better than I. So anyway, we'll take a break on that. We'll come back with more of Tigers Roar right here on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
We continue with Tigers Roar as we roll on here. Appreciate you watching. We remind you the original airing each and every week is on a Wednesday evening. If you're catching this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you have a rebroadcast going, or maybe you went to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. You can catch this program and lots of other things that we do at your convenience. Check it all out at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Still got plenty of baseball to get to in just a little bit. We'll be joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. We'll talk baseball with him. But part of the Tiger Tour that's been going around the state has featured the new basketball coach, Will Wade. You're getting more and more impressed with this guy. I hear you talk about him on the radio.
He's energetic. He's enthusiastic. He has a plan. He has filled some holes on his roster. He's gotten some bigs. He's after one more recruit who's a pretty good one, and we'll see what happens along the way. And they're busy recruiting for the years to come. So I don't doubt his ability to coach. I was wondering, how is he going to be able to recruit? If he can recruit, I think LSU is in good hands.
Well, I think he's wise enough to know he needs players, and he's immediately addressing that. It's all about players. I mean, he can be the smartest coach in the world. He can be the best motivator in the world. Guy has some guys that can go play. Now, and we mentioned already, and in the coming years, some renovations to the PMAC. They just did a bunch of good stuff at the PMAC and need to do more. And those ramps that are on the south side of the PMAC, between the PMAC and Tiger Stadium, are going to go away.
So
but those ramps are legendary.
Yeah, you're going to see. Yeah, that's where the fans used to line up.
But athletes would run up and down the ramp for conditioning purposes.
I didn't miss that. But now you're going to have escalators inside the Maravich Assembly Center. So it's going to be good.
All right, we got a quick video here from Coach Will Wade as he was running around on the Tiger Tour talking some Tiger basketball. Here it is.
For that last assistant spot, I was really sure on those first two, and then I really just wanted to take my time. I met with a lot of people, a lot of really, really qualified people. Any of them would have been tremendous for our job. But at the end of the day, I felt like we needed somebody with some SEC experience. Bill had somebody I'd known for a little while, kind of popped up on the radar late, and he really had deep SEC experience. Been in the league 11 years, been at Ole Miss 11 years, assistant for the last 5. Has a bunch of all SEC players. So I thought it was really, really important to gobble somebody up with that type of experience. I think he'll help us as we move forward, not only with the recruiting piece, but on the court. He knows the scouting. He has a good idea with a lot of the personnel and a lot of the teams and what they do in the league.
You talk about recruiting. Just has it been challenging jumping into it?
We're good. It's been great. The LSU brand is strong. People love LSU all across the state. When we go nationally, people know LSU. It was surprising in a good way just how strong our brand is all across the country. So recruiting's going well. We feel good about where we are. We're going to keep chasing them down.
I know it's going to take some steps to kind of get the guys that you do have acclimated to your system and everything. But how anxious are you to finally kind of get into it? It's a long wait until the season starts, but I'm sure it's going to be here quickly.
Yeah, it'll be quickly here before we know it. But June 5th, when we get back for summer school, we get 2 hours a week to work on the court with them. Get 6 hours of strength and conditioning work. That's going to be critical for us to really get that going and to make sure our guys are in the best shape possible, make sure they understand what we're looking for from an accountability standpoint on the court. So really June 5th, it kicks into high gear for us.
Certainly we'll have a lot more basketball as we go forward. Let's say sign some more players. We talked about the coach they added last week, Bill Armstrong, who had been at Ole Miss. So it'll be interesting to see how that basketball progresses and unfolds. I would caution fans, don't expect an overnight miracle.
No, but
would you agree with that?
Yes.
But it may be a pleasant surprise.
Yes, I agree. Totally. I think you'll see a dramatic change on one end of the floor. Defensively, they'll be a whole lot better. The question mark is, do they have enough offensive firepower? Do they have enough people that can put the ball in the basket? But on the other end, they'll defend like crazy.
You got any eligibility left?
On one end of the court.
There's a three-point line now.
On one end of the court, I can handle it.
See, there was no three-point line when he played. Okay, I'm not trying to date you, but
I know. I'm telling you, I'd have been in the NBA if they had the three-point line.
There's no doubt. All right, we'll take a break. We come back. We'll visit with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Get his observations of this LSU baseball team as they roll forward into playing for championships, according to Paul Mainieri. And, of course, that is the facts. We're back with more after this pause on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential. There's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-779-1032. 800-779-1032.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis. Not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal and she makes your dreams come true.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Jordy Holberg, Tommy Krysan with you. Our pleasure
The
to
one
now
and
be
only.
joined by Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Good evening, Brian. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, good. LSU baseball, huh? Peaking at the right time, maybe?
Well, you know, you look at last weekend, and if you get these three types of pitching performances, 9-inning shutouts, 6 2/3 innings, 1 earned run, and 8 innings, 1 run, 1 hit from your starters, you're going to be pretty tough to beat.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can withstand when your top 4 hitters go 6 for 43. Your bottom of the lineup comes through, but you didn't really have to come through a whole lot offensively when you get pitching like that. Look, that's the whole story of baseball at any level, starting pitching.
Yeah.
Get very good starting pitching, you're going to have a chance to win every game.
Brian, we the three of us have seen a lot of LSU baseball. You're out there more than Jordy and I, obviously. It's uncanny how the Tiger baseball team seems to find a way to play its best baseball in May, but that's the key for all colleges, no matter what conference you're in. And LSU, a month ago, a lot of rumbling and bumbling, this team's not going to Omaha, they won't even host this, that, and the other. And then, you know, as baseball purists do, you say, hey, let some things go here. Let's let it all play out and see where it is. And they're in a perfect spot to control their own destiny through Omaha if they continue to play on the field.
Right, if they just keep winning. And look, here's the funny thing about it. You know, back in, before the season started in February, people said, okay, Florida should win the East and LSU should win the West. And neither one of those teams got off to good starts, and here we are with 1 weekend to go in the regular season. And who's leading the East? Florida. And who's leading the West? LSU. So baseball, like you just said, you let everything play out. You just see where you stand. And, now, LSU and Florida have to take on the two teams that are chasing them. Mississippi State's a game behind LSU, and Kentucky is a game behind Florida, and the four best the teams with the 4 best records in the SEC are matched up against each other this weekend, and we'll see where we stand, Saturday night.
Last year they had the turning point was that Rally Possum game against Arkansas. Can you pinpoint anything specific about this season and why LSU's won 8 of their last 9 conference games and have gotten themselves from down and out in many cases to sitting atop the West?
Well, I think it was very important that they have not been swept. And by that, they win a game at Kentucky and they win a game at Florida. And I think those were 2 key wins. But I don't think you can, set a particular game. Look, they grinded out 3 wins against 2 out of 3 wins against South Carolina. I guess when you look at it after losing the opener in that series to the Gamecocks the next day when, Jared Poche pitched so well against South Carolina and LSU even the series. I think that was big. And, of course, the Sunday game where they had all the comebacks.
Right.
And South Carolina twice to tie the score and then to win it. I guess if LSU, that's going to be the game that you're going to probably look at.
Okay.
You say, well, that team grinded through a victory in the 3rd game of that series, and so that would be the one game probably in this stretch. Last week against Auburn, like I said, the starting pitching was so good, and but now, the last 2 weeks they've been home. This week they're going to be on the road. And I would say playing at the toughest environment in the SEC.
I agree.
I just think the way the setup is there. I think playing at Mississippi State when you I think from a fan standpoint, a home fan standpoint, I think that can be pretty tough, and I think that that's what's going to make this hard this weekend for LSU to win this series against Mississippi State.
Brian, what is it that you like the most about this LSU baseball team now that you've seen 53 games?
Well, look, it's if they can knock out the inconsistencies, they're pretty good. I think this, in their lineup 1 through 9, everybody can get a hit. But the problem is this year, every one of those guys can go 2 straight games without getting a hit. So the consistency. So the good thing is, Michael Papirski in the 8 hole, Zach Watts in the 9 hole. Listen, those guys can get big hits. But unfortunately, Greg Dykman can go 0 for 8 back-to-back games. That's in Antoine Duplantis, and that's your 3 and 4 hitters. So I think the best thing about it, the offense, is that everybody is capable of getting a hit, but I don't think you have a guy this year that can say, man, they're a threat to get 2 hits in every game. So there's a plus and a minus there. And then the other thing, look, the starting pitching. If those 3 guys pitch well, and I'll limit it to Poche and Lang, if those guys throw well, LSU can beat anybody in the country. And the disappointing thing is that there have been, quite a few somewhat mediocre starts by both Lang and Poche this year. But now, it's a new season, and, you just see what they do in each one of their starts down the stretch. And if they give LSU good starts every time out, LSU can win important games.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it rolls forward in Starkville and over to Hoover, Alabama. Brian, LSU's going to be a regional host. Can they mess that up if they don't win another game?
Well, yeah. I mean, if they say they lose, get swept in Starkville, and if they get swept in Starkville, I would say probably they would have to play in the play-in on Tuesday. And so you get swept in Starkville and lose the play-in game and finish the year with 4 straight losses. Let's see, what would that make their record? 36 and 21. I mean, I would still say they'd host, but there'd be some squeezy moments for almost 6 days there from next Tuesday after they would lose a game to the following Monday.
What do they have to do to get a national seed? Win the West. How far do they have to go in the SEC tournament?
It's not how far you go. It's how far you go, I think, in comparison to other teams. So, I believe the SEC is going to get 2 national seeds. the bids went out today. I think Florida and Kentucky would be the two national seeds. I believe that LSU is competing in the SEC for a national seed. I'm going to give one to Florida. Now, that being said, if Florida would get swept at home by Kentucky this week, they wouldn't necessarily be a national seed. But I'll say that won't happen, and I'll give one to Florida. So LSU is competing against Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Arkansas.
Okay.
So I think LSU has to take care of business. You know, they can place themselves ahead of Mississippi State by, you know, winning the series this weekend. And then, look, if I'm from the LSU standpoint, I want Kentucky to lose to Florida, and I want Arkansas to lose to Texas A&M. I want to get those two teams who can compete, who are competing for national seeds. I want them out to pick it.
Okay. Makes sense.
So it's going to be an exciting weekend across the country in all conferences, obviously in the SEC, and of course the SEC tournament in Hoover, Alabama next week. We're visiting with Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com. Brian, Tiger football's got another Texas Tech player coming to town, a wide receiver with some decent numbers who will sit out 2017, have 2 years remaining after that. Tell us about the new wide receiver coming to the LSU football team.
Yeah, Kenton Giles, you know, caught a lot of balls, 80 passes at Texas Tech.
You and I could catch passes at Texas Tech, though, couldn't we?
Oh, you're right about that. That's definitely true. But I'll say this, and this is when I'm going to give Ed some credit. LSU now has 3 transfers who will sit out this year. 2 from Texas Tech and 1 from NC State, a defensive lineman, a wide receiver, and a tight end. If you look at the 2018 LSU football roster today, I would say that there were 5 areas of the team that I have a lot of concerns about the personnel. One of them is quarterback. Another one is running back.
Yeah.
The other 3 are defensive line, tight end, and wide receiver. The defensive line, look, LSU really only has, I would say today, 5 guys that you can count on in their rotation for next year, and 3 of those 5 guys are seniors. So it's pretty thin on the defensive line. Well, they pick up Fehoko from Texas Tech, who's a defensive lineman who hopefully can move right into the rotation there. Wide receiver, you lose DJ Chark and Russell Gage after next year. They're definitely 2 of your top 3 wide receivers. Everybody else at that position is an unknown quantity. Well, now you've brought in a wide receiver. And then tight end, you'll have Foster Moreau back in 2018. The only other tight end really that is Caleb Roddy, and you're really not sure yet what he can give you. So now you get Moss, Randy Moss's son, to help that position. So I'm going to give Ed credit. He identified there are 5 areas of the 2018 team right now where the position areas look kind of thin, and he's gone out and picked up transfers for 3 of the 5 areas.
Brian, tell us what's happening at TigerBait.com.
www.tigerbait.com. Coverage of the Mississippi State Series this weekend. I'm wrapping up a series looking at the end of spring at LSU's opponents. I did it by month. The look at the November opponents will go up on the site today. And may have another little basketball piece coming up over the weekend. Look, basketball. You all remember this. Jerry DiNardo, when he came to LSU,
Yep.
what was the first thing he went out and did?
Kevin Falk, Karen Crow.
Right. What is the first thing that Will Wade, I would say, needs to do?
Javonte Smart, Donaldson, Scotlandville.
Exactly. Look.
Come on, Brian. You can't pass that over me. Come on now.
And look, Smart announced his Final 6 yesterday. LSU's in the Final 6. And look, I'm not scared of any of the teams. You may say Kentucky. Look, Kentucky's recruiting other point guards besides Javonte Smart. And, Javonte Smart's not the number 1 point guard in the country, and Kentucky's recruiting the number 1. Well, if Kentucky gets the number 1 point guard, they're not going to be interested in Javonte Smart.
Right.
So I just think that this is critical. I don't care if Smart stays 1 year or 2 years. I just think that it's critical.
Sends a message. No question.
That Will Wade gets Javonte Smart.
No question.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Okay,
Take care, buddy.
Later.
Take care.
All right, I want to talk a little bit real quick before we get to break about the softball team. Tremendous run in the SEC tournament up in Knoxville. They finished runner-up. They're
to Ole
seeded
Miss.
13th overall in the NCAA tournament, and they're hosting a regional out at Tiger Park. We have that graphic for you.
UL's in
Beth
there.
Torina
Look out. Look
has
out.
really come on in the latter part of the season. Like the baseball team, you got ULL, Fairfield from Connecticut coming in, and the McNeese State Cowboys, Lady Cowboys, Lady Pokes, whatever they call them. So that'll be at Tiger Park, an NCAA softball championship, Baton Rouge Regional.
Beth Torina, good job. Raging Cajuns are good, 46-5.
McNeese is very good too.
That's a good regional. It's a good regional.
That is very good. I know nothing about Fairfield.
I don't either,
but
and nobody's going to follow them. But I promise you, the Cowpokes and the Raging Cajuns will bring their fans. That Tiger Park will be packed.
It's going to be very packed. It's
Starts
very
Friday.
crowded out there. So Beth Torina, job well done. Didn't do as well in the regular season in the SEC as she would have liked. But man, they got hot at tournament time up in Knoxville. They had to dodge a few raindrops. Advanced all the way to the final game where they got beat there. But
good job.
How about this? Vanderbilt does not play softball.
All right.
All 13 softball teams in the NCAA
Why didn't
tournament.
Vandy play softball? Can you name the other teams, by the way, for Javante Smart, his final six? No. I'll go Oklahoma State. Okay. Kansas, Kentucky, UCLA, LSU, and Georgetown, I think.
Is Butch Pierre still at Oklahoma State?
No.
No? Okay, I didn't know. Okay. But no, that's an impressive list.
He left Oklahoma State. He was at North Carolina State with Mark Gottfried. Gottfried got Butch Pierre looking for a gig.
All right, there you go. Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. The Facebook page is Pelican Broadcasting. Twitter account is at Pelican Sports, and YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting, where you can watch this program and many other things that we do here at Pelican Sports TV at your convenience. Again, YouTube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Check it out. You got the post game. You got Tigers Roar. You got the Roger Kadar TV show. A couple more weeks of that. Sports Shorts with Ronnie Rance, who will be joining us a little bit later in this program. All right, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll take a break and come back. Jordy Hultberg, Tommy Christ, and you are watching Tigers Roar.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
My name is Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
to tell you about WUBR. Yeah, CBS Sports Radio, great mixture of local and national programming here on the station. The Jordy Hultberg Show, Monday through Fridays at 7 a.m. One more week of talking baseball with Coach Roger Kadar, airing at 12 noon, replay at 5 p.m. Buddy Sanji with Buddy Sports Talk, myself, Fridays, Dave Scandaliato. He'll talk Preakness horse racing this week. Saturday mornings, Carlos Brown, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Louisiana Music Hall of Fame radio hosted by Mike Shepard through the night. Select Houston Astros ball games. They played earlier today, but we had Buddy Sanji and myself on. CBS Sports Radio, home of the Jim Rome Show, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You got to go get our free app. We're on TuneIn. We're not leaving TuneIn, but we have our own app. You go to your App Store or Google Play, search WUBR. You'll see the CBS Sports Radio logo, and take it from there. Take the station with you 24/7, wherever you may go. So check out WUBR, 9:10 a.m. Of course, the smartphones, the internet, the tablets, the mobile devices. Jordy, tell the folks about your program that's on in the afternoons in the Lafayette market.
2 o'clock on 103.7 FM, KLWB, The Game. We're bringing Tiger Town to Acadiana. We talk about the Raging K. We talk about everything. So it's been great. Been terrific.
Right, there you go. Jordy, NBA draft lottery was held earlier this week. Pelicans not in it due to a trade. They got 1 second round pick.
Cousins deal, yeah.
Yeah, they got 1 second round pick. But you'll have the Celtics, then the Lakers, then the 76ers, and going to be interesting. Your thoughts on the draft lottery?
Has a city had a better back-to-back day in sports than Boston? They win Game 7 over the Wizards. Then the very next day, they get the number 1 pick in the draft.
That was via a trade, too.
That was Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce going to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn just saying, here, take this. And they played Brooklyn like a fiddle, and that's why Brooklyn is awful. But it's amazing, a team that's in the Eastern Conference Finals has the number 1 pick in the draft. The Pelicans were going to have a first-round pick, but it was top 3 protected. And once that didn't happen, and Sacramento got the pick, and so they didn't expect anything there. It's a guard-oriented league, and we'll see who goes where and how. Lonzo Ball going to the Lakers, maybe at number 2. Markieff Fultz going number 1 is what they say from Washington, going to Boston. We'll see.
Must give some credit where credit's due on this program and on your radio program a couple months back. You said you didn't think there'd be any changes with the Pelicans in the general manager spot and the head coach spot. An announcement finally comes out. I think they took too long to make the announcement. That's just my opinion. Yeah. But that heading into next season, Dell Demps is still the GM. Alvin Gentry is still the head coach, as you predicted.
Dell Demps saved his job. He pulled off the trade and got.
If not for that, he's not there.
If not for that, they're both gone. Both gone. So now they only had him for 22, 23 games. They said, okay, we're going to give you one more opportunity, give you a full training camp, and this better be a playoff team that wins games in the playoffs, or you're gone. If this thing is heading south. And you're looking around the All-Star break or a little bit before then, they'll pull the trigger.
So in other words, if it's going bad come Christmas Day, it could be, because Christmas Day is a big benchmark in the NBA. They get a lot of fans in. They supposedly begin.
And the good thing is they both know it. They both know it. So Dell Demps is going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat, and he's got to get some perimeter shooters that can stretch the floor, that can knock down shots. If not, it'll be the same old, same old. There's one team in the league that has a high-low entry, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. They've got Marc Gasol, and they've got Zebo, Zach Randolph. That's not the most visually aesthetic style of play. I think the Pelicans want to do a little of both. I think they want to pound it inside with those two, but get the break and get it going. Be interesting to see what they do with Drew Holiday. That's the big piece of the puzzle. Do they want him? Are they going to offer him a max deal? Is Drew Holiday going to shop around and see what he's worth? That's a question mark.
Let's talk about the conference finals, which are going on now in the NBA. Let's start in the West. One-sided, even though 2 games in, Golden State's just way better than San Antonio, especially with Kawhi Leonard hurt.
If Leonard doesn't get hurt in Game 1, we're talking a 1-1 series heading to San Antonio, and look out. You just never know. I mean, Golden State proved they were fragile a year ago. But with Leonard going out, missing game 2, it's 2-zip. San Antonio may get 1 win out of this thing. But the difference is when Kawhi Leonard shut down James Harden, Houston had nobody else that can score. So Kawhi Leonard shuts down Kevin Durant. You got Curry, you got Thompson, you got Green, you got Iguodala coming off the bench. You got they come in waves. Too many weapons.
Yeah, they're just too good. So even though it's 2-0, many people have been saying for months this is Golden State, and I can't see Houston winning 4 of the next 5 games.
You mean? Oh, you mean San Antonio?
San Antonio.
Yeah.
San Antonio winning 4 of the next 5
And
against Golden State. That's just not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. And Boston, their best chance to win a game is tonight.
Game 1.
Game
Boston
1.
has the home court.
Game 1. That's their best chance.
They don't win that, it's over? Yeah. King James, LeBron James.
Can't you see, where do you hide Isaiah Thomas? He's 5'9". He's a great player, but he's 5'9". So if I'm Cleveland, we're working a screen and roll, and we're getting whoever's guarding, whoever Isaiah Thomas is guarding, he's setting a screen for LeBron, and we're switching, and then get out of the way and take him inside. It's over. He's 5'9".
LeBron can do it, and LeBron's every bit of 6'8".
6'8", 250, 260. It's over.
Push him out the way, huh?
It's over.
It'd be like a little mosquito at the picnic, huh?
I've never seen LeBron play better in his entire career. I've never seen him play better.
Is he on like a mission? What is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this 7 straight
NBA Finals
if he gets there?
Which he will. He's fixing to pass Jordan in the as the all-time leading playoff scorer. He only has a couple points to go. But
they have more games now than when Jordan.
Well,
but still, it is. It is what it is.
I'm not saying he's better than Jordan. I'm saying he's the best in his era. Michael Jordan was the best in his era. Wilt Chamberlain was the best in his era. Let's just leave it at that.
Bill Russell guy wasn't bad.
Bill Russell wasn't bad either.
Hey, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Ronnie Rance of Sports Shores Radio, Sports Shores TV, and the Louisiana Hall of Fame Foundation up there in Natchitoches, Louisiana. We'll visit with Ronnie Rance. We'll certainly talk some LSU baseball, among other things. He's Jordy Hultberg. I'm Tommy Krysan, and you are watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Cox Cable, AT&T, UVerse, all over the world on the internet at PelicanSportsTV.com. Stay with us.
You got that down, man.
Surfing through the channels with his little remote, wolfing down Cheetos. I hope he don't choke between Monday night football and Friday night fights. I'm lucky if I get to see a show that I like. He never hears the phone or the doorbell ring. I don't try to understand him. It's a male thing.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-471-9811. 800-471-9811.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Cypress Lake Apartments are conveniently located off Segan Lane in Baton Rouge. Come see this community, which has many amenities including swimming pools, fitness room, playground, and much more. Beautiful views of Cypress Lake. 1, 2, 3-bedroom apartments are available. Stop by and see Cypress Lake Apartments. Give them a call at 225-293-6789 or visit online, cypresslake-apartments.net. We continue with Tigers Roar, talking some more LSU baseball.
Yes, indeed.
It's quite the topic now.
Should
as
be.
We know it should be. And you mentioned this earlier, but how about that schedule maker? Huh? You got Florida and Kentucky on top of the East.
Brilliant.
They're playing in Gainesville this
Brilliant.
week. LSU, Mississippi State on top of the West. They're playing in Starkville this week. And you couldn't have lined that one up better whenever they made this
Only
schedule.
difference is Florida's in the catbird seat. They're at home.
Yeah.
LSU's got to go on the road, and that is a tough, as Brian Lazar said earlier, that is a tough place. What sport does the home field advantage count the most?
Wow.
Football, basketball, baseball. What would you guesstimate?
Basketball. Closer to the court.
I think so.
I
think so.
I think you only got to affect 5 guys.
Yeah.
I think it would be basketball where, if you go into
If you got the bigger, better offensive line, defensive line, you're going to win in football regardless.
Yeah, and in baseball, if you got the guy that Wang throws a shutout, he can throw that in any town, okay, or post wheels and deals.
It's amazing.
I think it affects all.
Baseball's the one sport where you don't have a uniform field. Every field's different. The dimensions, whatever. Basketball is the same, 94 by 50, 10 feet off the ground. It's the same thing, but it's so completely different. It is amazing.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the fans are closer, and I know they have pushed student sections into the second fiddle row because they want to sell seats that students used to occupy. Not just at LSU, but at all arenas. I mean, as students, look what happened to student section in Tiger Stadium in football. Yeah. But I think the most effect is basketball, but I don't mean to say you can't affect in baseball. Mississippi State's a tough place to play baseball.
No
that
question.
left fielder is going to have to, Duplantis, if he's out there, earplugs he will have in, and he's got to be mentally tough enough to block that out or laugh along with them.
Earplugs, really?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Or laugh along with them.
How do you hear the crack of the bat and know where to jump and go?
You're hoping the sound's down a little bit at that, but you either that or you laugh along with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I'm him,
you can't be Joey Bell and moon them.
No, if I'm him, I tell the equipment manager I want a ball every inning.
Yeah,
I run out there and I toss it to a kid, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, okay, good." That's what I would do. And then I turn my back quickly, and
but I mean,
focusing on home plate.
Even Duplantis, he's experienced enough. And if you're in the SEC, other stadiums are tough to play in, and they got guys that bench jockeys and guys that'll yell at you and get after you a little bit. That's part of it, but you have to be able to not pay attention to that and not let it affect you.
I've always laughed when people say to me, athletes or whatever, I hear, "Oh, I don't hear anything." Baloney.
Bull.
Baloney.
That's like in a PGA
you
Tour.
hear everything.
I don't look at the scoreboard. Bull.
Yeah, you hear everything.
Look at that thing.
You hear everything.
You hear it all.
Only time you don't is when it's just so much noise and it just kind of drowns it out.
Well, when you played basketball at LSU, what was the loudest? Was it Rupp Arena?
Our own gym was the loudest when it was rocking, but on the road, it was Rupp Arena.
It was Rupp Arena?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so did you hear it?
Heck yeah.
I mean, is
you
it
heard
deafening? I mean, when you can't hear you
because it's not
you
always.
You can't hear Coach Brown yelling out.
It's not always deafening, and when it's not, there's that one person
that says
who says something and you can't help but hear it.
He
you
says
can't help but hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fair.
You hear
but
it.
to answer your question, and what a weekend it's going to be in Starkville, and we pointed out again. All 7 SEC series are Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And here's the deal. The top 12 teams in the SEC go to Hoover, Alabama for the tournament. Right now, well, Alabama's out no matter what. Yeah. Either Tennessee or Georgia will be the other team to not go. Okay?
Georgia's bad. And then, Georgia's going to be out.
Yeah, well, they're a little bit ahead of Tennessee right now.
Yeah, but
and I don't think they play each other. But And then what happens is on Tuesday in Hoover, you have 4 games. The 5 through the 12 seed will play single elimination. Lose on Tuesday, you're going home. Then when Wednesday kicks around, the 4 teams who had the bye, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th seeds, will each play, but the tournament becomes double elimination. And as you said earlier, the first game should start on time. After that,
good luck.
There is a gap between game 2 and 3 that if the 2 games go okay, game 3's got a chance to be on time, but 2 and 4.
That last game is murder.
Yeah, it's I've seen them play well after midnight
Murder.
over the years
No
in
question.
Hoover. But then it's a double elimination tournament until you get to Saturday when it kicks back. It reverts back to being single elimination. Championship game Sunday afternoon.
Will they ever move that from Hoover?
Yes, they've been talking about it.
Come down to Zephyr? I mean, excuse me, the estate, what do they call it?
The place next to the Saints facility.
Yeah, what do they call it now? The Shrine on Airline.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a great park downtown Memphis.
Right across.
AAA
Right
hosts,
across from the Peabody Hotel.
home of the
Dream
AAA
and-
Cardinals.
yeah, yeah.
So they've talked
Beautiful
about putting
ballpark.
it there. New
But good luck
Orleans-
with parking around that.
Yeah, New Orleans
awful.
would be a candidate, especially when you got those 4 games with 4 different teams.
Awful. You can't park. There's nowhere to park.
I mean,
it's right in
when
the middle
I
of
say-
downtown.
When I say downtown,
right
I
in the middle
mean
of it.
Downtown.
What's
okay?
the name of the Rendezvous? Is the famous barbecue place, and that's right across the street down this little alley.
Yeah. Now, have you been to the new field in Biloxi? Actually,
not.
Southeastern played Southern Miss there this week.
Have not.
I don't know the capacity of it. I don't know if it holds enough to host the SEC tournament, but I hear it's a fabulous ballpark. I'll have to look that one up.
Speaking of Mississippi, I'm hearing rumors that the Pelicans D-League team is heading to Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, the North Shore, Covington, Mandeville area chose not to bid, so it went from 6 potential places, including Baton Rouge,
Pensacola,
to 5, Mobile, Baton Rouge, Jackson, Biloxi. Biloxi, we got that Gulf Coast.
I'm hearing Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, you're the inside guy. You
I don't
know
about
that kind of stuff.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what.
Close enough?
That's what the grapevine.
Well, yeah, Coach Gentry made a good point. You know, when you can have guys that close or quote unquote running your system and you got tabs on them and all that.
Poor Sheck Diallo was in Iowa, was in Minnesota, was back to New Orleans, back to I mean, he was all over the place. That's crazy.
That wears on you. That catches up.
The NBA's doing the right thing. They're making a commitment to this thing, and that's going to give players an opportunity. They're going to raise the pay. So now these kids have a chance to, even if they don't make it, it's like a farm system in baseball now. You can stick around, make a living for 3 or 4 years, and go from there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it would work in Baton Rouge.
No, it wouldn't. No.
LSU's too much of a...
And the venue's awful.
Yeah.
They're going to play the River Center. I mean, God bless the River Center, but no.
They're not going to play
It's
in the PMAC. We know that.
Not going in the dome. What do you call it? Southern mini dome.
The FG Clark Activity Center.
The
not
mini
gonna play
dome?
there. No, but I mean, and look, indoor football didn't work. Hockey had a little run, a little longer than I thought, but that was kind of a new thing at the time when the Kingfish first got in.
It was great in Lafayette, and then what happened?
Well, Lafayette had indoor football. Lafayette did better than Baton Rouge with
everything.
those minor league
No
sports.
question. No question.
And you know, Lafayette's a huge sports town, and they did a lot better than Baton Rouge supporting the Ice Gators.
Yeah,
you know, and they had an indoor football.
That was
team.
fun for a while. Now you got to. New Orleans had their own team too.
New Orleans Brass.
Yeah, that was pretty fun stuff for a while.
But I don't think a D-League NBA thing would work in Baton Rouge. Like you said, I mean, where are you going to play it? I mean, you know, you can tuck it in the side of the River Center or something. I mean, no, I think it's good to be considered.
The only way it works in Baton Rouge is if you have ex-LSU players playing in it.
But again, where are you going to play?
Where are you going to play?
I'm sure Baton Rouge is a candidate because they're, 70 miles away from New Orleans, and that would be a plus to have it that close. But
well, they got the backing of,
and this is not for like 2 years before they start
they've
playing.
got backing by
this year.
a billionaire, and
Do
so
they want to build a new arena in Baton Rouge?
No, we don't want to do that.
Don't need that. No. But again, it's one reason why affiliated minor league baseball has never come to Baton Rouge, because LSU competes too much for the sports entertainment dollar.
The perfect environment for that, and this is not a slight on the D-League, but it would be like a Fogelman Arena. 5,000-seat arena. If they had something like that in Baton Rouge, it'd be perfect.
Right.
You don't need a 12, 13,000. It'd be empty.
You need a big high school gym. Jesuits gym would work.
Yeah, it'd be empty. What's wrong with Mount Ocean? What's wrong with the Cavaliers?
Too small.
Man,
See,
we used to
Jesuit
rock
used to
that
be the
place.
biggest gym.
Yeah, that was awful.
You hear the story about that? You know, Holy Cross rebuilt out on Paris Avenue, and when they got to the point of how big do we make the gym,
One seat
somebody
bigger?
called Jesuit and said, how many seats y'all hold in basketball? They said 2,500. So Holy Cross is 2,501 with their new fabulous.
That's okay. They can
facility.
have all those seats they want. We'd get 2,500 in the gym standing up, and they'd have empty
The
seats.
Cavalier
There
gym
you
was
go.
quite crowded back in the day
Yes,
when
it
Mr.
was.
Hultberg played. Back to LSU baseball. Let's take a look at the Tigers and where they are heading into this game with Mississippi State. We're going to look at their record as it stands overall. Last night they beat Northwestern State from the Southland 9-3, 36-17 overall. As you know, they're sitting at 18-9 in the SEC on top of the West. 3 games in Starkville Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The Saturday games at 3:30. I'll put the post-game show on at about 6:30, 6:45. You should know the drill on that by now. And showdown in Starkville. They did what they had to do against Northwestern State. Another thing about the win against the Demons that assured them of a winning record in midweek games.
8-6.
Which they had never had a losing record. They've actually been pretty sporty under Paul Maneri in those midweek games. But the Demons have first-year coach Bobby Barbier. They're going to get better. He's a former player there. Coached at Bama for a long time before getting back over to Northwestern State. I know his father, Darren Barbier, very well. Competed against him forever. He was a baseball player at Shaw. Baseball player at Nichols, and he was one time the Nichols head football coach, and a very good one. They won a conference title with him. So Northwestern State will get better, but LSU was supposed to beat them, and they did.
The main numbers to look at in the yellow, upper right, 18-9 in the SEC. What have we always said?
Win 20.
Win 20, and you get.
Which is 2 out of 3.
You get a national seed.
We can both do that,
You
math.
get 2 out of 3.
You go 2 out of 3
You
games.
win 2 out of 3. It
through
means you
30
win.
games.
You
and
win
you're
the
20 and
West.
10.
You win the West. You get a bye in the SEC tournament, and everything is hunky dory.
Yeah,
so it's
we'll
right
see.
there. It's right
Speaking
there.
of those SEC standings, we'll start off in the East. And again, the schedule makers get a little star on their collar this week, as in the SEC East, as predicted. And as talked about many months ago, Florida is on top, 19-8. Kentucky matches LSU's record of 18-9. Kentucky would hold a tiebreaker against LSU, winning 2 out of 3. And those two teams meet in Gainesville this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Missouri, they'll go to the tournament and be in on that Tuesday single elimination day. Georgia, Tennessee likely out. We'll see what happens at the bottom of that. But Florida, LSU needs Kentucky to sweep Florida, and then LSU needs to sweep the Mississippi State, and then that would help them out. Actually, they need to take 2 out of 3. They
Slim
need
for
them to take
Kentucky
2
to
out
go
of
into
3.
Gainesville and win.
They need
3
Kentucky to
straight.
win 2 out of 3. If they sweep, they'll win the overall.
Right.
If they win 2 out of 3 and LSU sweeps, LSU would be the overall. So you got a little bit of help there. And as we look at the standings in the West, you've got LSU on top of Mississippi State, Arkansas, which has that rain out that will not and cannot be made up according to league rules. Bama's at the bottom. The rest of those teams will be in Hoover, Alabama.
And A&M plays Arkansas, right? So there's some intrigue there as well. So wait and see what happens. But again, we'll all know as the dust settles come Saturday late afternoon, early evening. And then they'll bring out the brackets for the SEC tournament. But again, every series now that LSU is in is for a championship. This is for the SEC West. Then they play the SEC tournament for that title. Then they play for a regional title. If they win that one, hopefully they'll play for a super regional title. If they win that one, they'll go to the College World Series and play for a big ring.
And that's what the fans
And it's
want. That's
fun.
what the fans
Yes.
expect. But going into this final weekend, you have to do the same thing that was said 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks ago. You got to let it all play out. I mean, if LSU loses 3 games to Mississippi State, maybe as Brian Lazar of TigerBait.com said, maybe they're playing in that single
That's right.
elimination Tuesday over in Hoover. So a lot can still happen. But here's the key, as we all know. LSU can control their own destiny. That's always what you ask for. You don't want to have to, win your game and have this team win or you're out. And LSU's not in that spot. They're going to be in Hoover. They're going to be in a regional and hosting it unless the bottom falls out.
If Lang, Poche, and this Walker kid can duplicate what they did against Auburn, no worries. you're good.
Yeah.
No worries.
Mississippi State is very, very good, obviously, but a lot of injuries up there, and you made a good point earlier. They came out the gate strong. Okay, they got swept their opening SEC series by A&M, and then they went on they went
Great
like
tear.
19-2 in the next 21. And now they've dipped a little bit, losing a pair to Georgia, who's not good. Even though those games were in Athens, State shouldn't have been losing to them.
Think about it. LSU caught Auburn at a perfect time.
They
They'd
were-
lost 4 straight. And they were starting to have that, Mississippi State may be thinking the same thing. I want to bring this up, and I want to get your opinion on this. Mississippi State may be going, ooh, really? Are we really as good as we thought we were? Nobody knows LSU better than Andy Cannizaro, hitting coach. He knows what Greg Dykman likes and what Greg Dykman doesn't like, and the same throughout the order, except for the freshmen. Is that a big advantage? No advantage? What kind of advantage is that?
I think it's a big advantage, okay, provided his players execute.
Pitcher still has to execute.
Yeah, he will have a plan of attack or how they want to pitch each of the guys. And you make a great point. He knows those guys inside and out, up and down, left and right. So he will have a plan that he knows what their weakness is. He knows, probably more importantly, he knows what their strength is.
But the
Don't
players
put the ball in this spot.
But the players know that he knows as well. But pitcher still has to pitch and execute, right?
You've still got to execute, and then does either side of that equation change it?
Mm-hmm.
Does Cannizaro go in there and say, well, Dykman's going to think we're going to do this, so we're really going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Or does Dykman say, well, he knows I like the ball down and in, he's going to throw me outside, and I'm going to be ready for it?
Yeah.
That
a
goes
lot of
back,
thinking going
That
on.
goes back to the old quote: baseball is only dull to those with a dull mind. There's a lot going on in between every pitch.
Can I write that down and quote you on
Oh,
that?
that's not my original. That's old as the hills.
Really?
I did have a quote about Starkville that got in Chris Warner's book.
And that would be?
I did this like unplanned. This was years ago. I was on the radio, and I said, one day last week I spent a month in Starkville. And Chris called me up.
You dogging that down.
And Chris calls me up and he says, TK, I was listening this morning, back in the day, I was on the morning. He said, I love that quote, and I'm putting together a quote book on SEC stuff. Can I use it? And I said, sure, whatever. Yeah.
You still get that residual check, don't
Yeah,
you?
I still get it. It's the same check I got back then. Nothing. But no, so one day
I gotta
last week
tell
I
you,
spent a month in Starkville.
People have no idea how far Starkville has come from back when I played and we drove into Starkville. There literally was nothing. Literally.
There's a few things now.
Literally. Now it's kind of nice.
They
It's
got
a
a
nice
fast
little
food
college
joint
town.
or two.
It's a nice college town.
They got a nice
I
golf
like
course.
Starkville. You're okay.
You like Starkville?
I do. The hump, and all that stuff.
Okay, this might be mean, but when's the last time you've been to Starkville?
Oh, God.
We're in 2017.
It's been a little while. It's been a little
go.
But I'm telling you, from where I was
when you played
to then and
later visits.
Oh, it was a dry county back then. You had to go into Columbus if you wanted something.
Yeah.
Not that we did,
No,
but I
y'all
just
didn't
remember
do
them saying that.
Yeah, y'all couldn't
I
have
just
done
remember
that.
them saying that.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a break.
Come on, give
when
Starkville
we
some
come
love.
back from this break, we're going to again tell you about Mike Tremonti and his great place, Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. We'll do that after this pause on Tigers Roar. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy, and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
My name is Dr. Nicole Rogers, and I'm here in Old Metairie, Louisiana at Hair Restoration of the South, where your hair is our care. And I'd like to invite you to come and visit and discuss various options for treatment of thinning hair. These can include both medical and surgical options. You don't have to go straight to surgery. In the meantime, feel free to check out our website, hairrestorationofthesouth.com, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
DLA Painting Incorporated is your company for professional painting, serving the greater Baton Rouge area and South Louisiana for over 20 years. Ready to paint for those recovering from flood, residential repaint, commercial painting, any size job, free estimates. Customer satisfaction is our highest priority. Call 225-505-8785. DLA Painting Incorporated, fully insured. Call Dennis at DLA Painting at 225-505-8785.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source. We continue with Tigers Roar. Jody Holberg, Tommy Chrysan with you. And we always do it. We like to do this, and we're going to tell you all about Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. You got the floor.
What do we love to do in this state? We love to have a good time. We love to eat. We love to get our friends together. If you want to get a gathering together, go to Tremonti's, tremontis.com, best meat and seafood market in Baton Rouge. You see the phone number, 751-7665. Tremontis.com tells you everything they've got. They've got something for every event, whether you're in town, out of town, wherever you may be, they've got everything. Their Chairman's Reserve beef, absolutely second to none. Their hamburgers are world famous. They are humongous. They'll feed an army. And of course, they've got boiled crawfish. They've got all kinds of fish, shrimp. They've got, what do you want? What do you like? We got Memorial Day weekend coming up shortly. Everybody wants to grill, so they got everything you need, from the pits to the charcoal to the implements to the food. All the way around the block, they have got that. So, ice chests, what do you need for your outdoor activity? Tremonti's has it. Go to their website, tremontis.com. See for yourself what's your favorite thing on the menu.
Sprinkle spice. The Chairman's Reserve beef.
My favorite
the crawfish. When do I have to end?
I love it all. My favorite thing is their ribeye rolls. They take a ribeye steak and they cut it really thin, and they put Philadelphia cream cheese, a little jalapeno pepper. They roll it all up, wrap it up in bacon. You put that baby on the grill. When the bacon is cooked, you know that everything else is cooked, and you talk about savory to the palate.
I'm heading to Tremonti's
It's
soon.
the best.
And you need to do the same thing. All right, Jordy, now everybody's talking about LSU Mississippi State this weekend. But I remember back to midweek last week when they were getting ready for the Auburn Tigers.
Right.
And, Auburn had gotten swept by Alabama at home. And that kind of put a little light on, like, man, what's going on with those guys?
Right.
But Auburn has been doing better this year than people thought. I'm talking about coming into that series with LSU. But they come into Baton Rouge, and as Brian Lazar mentioned, great pitching from Lang, from Poche, from Walker. And they go and take care of business against a pretty darn good Auburn team. Granted, Auburn not playing as good now as they were a month ago, but they still were, in the mix.
How many times have we said in any sport, when a team comes in a little shaky, all right, what do you have to do? It's the old cliche, easier said than done, but get out to a good start. So Lane goes 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first. LSU puts a 3 spot on the board in the bottom of the first. Game's over. State's going, uh-oh, here we go again. Lang is very effective. They did the same thing the next game. And then Walker has a no-hitter going through 7 or 8 innings, whatever. So they jumped on him early. So it's the same thing. If they can just give some run support to Lang, where he can breathe a little bit and not have to be perfect, then as you well know, all those pitches become that much more effective. Just does.
And there were good crowds. People knew it was the last home weekend series. Of course, you had the Demons coming up Tuesday night, which they won. We talked about that already. But we want to take a look back at this pitching performance. We got some good interviews with some of the players and coaches and whatnot. Here's a recap of LSU's sweep over Auburn.
Winds and delivers. The right-hander gets a bouncing ground ball to short. Robertson throws high, but nice stretch by Nick Coombs to go up and bring it down for out number 1. 2 count. Estes awaits the pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Alex Lang brought it inside, fooled him. 3 on the year, 16 home runs, leads the team, hit on the hands, but a flare will drop in left center field. Robertson now on his way in home. The throw coming into third. Duplantis will slide in safely. Dykeman stands in at second. It's an RBI single, and the Tigers draw first blood. It's 1-0 LSU. Took 2 of 3 from Mississippi State in Starkville as this one lifted high in the air. Going back, Jeremy Johnson in left field. Makes the grab. Tagging up will be Dykeman. The throw, of course, nowhere close. And a sac fly RBI for Josh Smith brings in Dykeman. It's 3-0 LSU. 2-2 delivery by Lang. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Josh Anthony as Lang records his second strikeout of the night. Off delivery upcoming. Runner on at first. Here's the pitch. Chopping ground ball to Kramer. Backpedals, fields it. Throw to first is just in time for out number 3. Time this year was 6 hits in a ball game. Already a program record. Here's one deep shot into right field. Gets over the head of Daniel Robert. It'll come off the wall. Robertson around third. Comes in to score. And an RBI double off the bat of sophomore Antoine Duplantis will make it 4-0 LSU.
Plays 72 overall.
2-1. Hit off the end of the bat. Another bouncer to short. Robertson charges in. Throw to first, and that'll do it for Auburn here in the top of the 3rd inning. Estes, the right-hander, awaits. The 1-2 pitch. Little chopper, slow bouncer. Coming in, Smith charging hard. Throw to first. Able to beat Estes at the bag. In his last 17 starts. Here's the 1-2. Chases this breaking ball. Swing and a miss.
4 games.
The 0-2. Ground ball towards third. Having to charge again is Smith. He'll look back the runner. Throw to first. Coombs falls, but appears to be all right. He stayed on the bag. Runner at second. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Johnson down on strikes. Delivery with a full count upcoming with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. Alex Lang will finish it there. Ahead in the count, 1-2. The pitch. Fought off a short hop. Nice play by Robertson at short. Throw to first. Gets Jonah Todd at the bag, and there's 2 gone. With 2 down, the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Struck him out. Davis again. Waits the 1-2. Off speed, breaking ball, swing and a miss. A yo-yo pitch from Alex Lang, and there's 2 down.
7 innings or more.
The 0-2, swing and a miss on the breaking ball. The 1-1. Off the end of the bat, right to Lang at the mound. He'll pick it up and throw to first. Coombs is there. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes. On Mr. Lang, the 3-1. Ground ball hit to short. Robertson fields it. He'll step on the bag by his lonesome. And that'll do it. LSU takes game 1 behind a complete game shutout.
I just had a good feel for it today. I don't know about comparatively to the rest of the year, but I just had a good feel for it and was able to throw it for strikes and throw it down when we needed to. So that's a big separator for what we're able to do is execute the breaking ball. So it was a good pitch tonight.
you guys got you an early cushion of that too. Does that help when you get that early lead?
Yeah, I mean it's always nice pitching with a lead early in the ball game. When you're able to pitch early with a lead, you don't have to be as fine. You can, that team was pretty aggressive. That's a good hitting team right there. I mean, they were aggressive early. They had a good game plan, and that was kind of feeding into what we were doing. We were getting ahead early, and just letting them put balls in play and let the defense work. And they did a tremendous job in the game. I don't have to say that because everybody knows how good this defense is. We've kind of grown accustomed to how good they are, but they really need to be praised for how well they played tonight.
When you were walking off the field in the 8th inning, there's nobody in the pen. It was pretty clear that it was your game in the 9th. It was kind of when you have that, knowing that it's your game, it's kind of.
I kind of have that mentality when I wake up in the morning. It's the night that I'm throwing. I'm throwing that day. Is I'm going 9 today. I'm going 9. You got to tell yourself you have to, because you can't. When the opportunity presents itself, you have to be ready mentally for it. And you have to go get it. So I mean, it's a tough thing. Those last 3 outs are no joke. They're the hardest 3 outs in baseball. So when you have that opportunity, you just got to grab it and run with it. And there's no better feeling than finishing at the start.
These are the situations that games are won for offensive clubs. 2 outs, runners in scoring position, being able to come up with a big base hit. Both of these teams have struggled with that at times.
Watson hits one high and deep. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Zach Watson provides a bit of margin now for LSU with a high, deep drive into the left center field bleachers. It's his 3rd home run of the year.
Off a guy like Keegan Thompson, you hope he makes a mistake. This is one of the few mistakes by Keegan Thompson all game long. He hangs a breaking ball thigh high right over middle of the plate, and the freshman didn't miss it.
Papierski hits one high and deep to right field. It is 3 runs up into the bleachers. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Michael Papierski, for the 5th time this year, runs one out of the ballpark. And LSU on that swing, a 2-run homer, takes a 5-3 lead.
I think Michael Papierski's not fired up. Nobody knows that he's hitting 230 now. The only thing they can think of, you know what? Michael Papierski just hit a 2-run home run and puts LSU back on top here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Got a fastball out over the plate again. Keegan Thompson has not made many mistakes. He hung a breaking ball to Zach Watson. Zach Watson gets him for a 2-run homer, and that young man.
There were fireworks after the game. LSU beat Auburn 5-3 in the middle game of the 3-game series. The Tigers of LSU are up 2-0. With College Baseball Hall of Famer Ben McDonald, I'm Lynn Rollins. Ben, fireworks during the game as well, starting with Zach Watson for LSU when he bangs a 2-run homer off the scoreboard.
Yeah, 5th inning gets a hanging breaking ball from Keegan Thompson, his 3rd home run of the year. But then in the 7th inning, an error which you don't see very often from LSU. Josh Smith throws it away. You see Estes come around, then a base hit by Jonah Todd, and all of a sudden the 7th inning gets a tie ball game. But Michael Papierski, who always swings hardly, and in case he runs into one, ran into one right there. His 5th homer of the year puts up LSU by 2. And then the closer, Hunter Newman, would close it out. LSU has won the first 2 games of this series against Auburn.
It was a win for Zach Hess in relief, and it was a save for Hunter Newman, his 8th of the year, as the Tigers follow a 4-0 shutout victory on Thursday with a 5-3 win over Auburn. They will look to take the series in sweep fashion on Saturday at noon. That game is available on the SEC Network. 5-3, the final. LSU a winner over Auburn.
The 0-1 is a ground ball hit to Robertson at short. Kind of takes a low bounce, but the throw from Robertson. Coombs stretches behind the bag. He'll haul it in. 2-2 delivery. This one a ground ball, reaches out. Ground ball snagged by Smith. Diving at third. Throws to first. 1-0 the count to Bo Jordan. Pitch, ground ball towards second, and gets by Jay Estes at second. Coming in to score will be Nick Coombs. Around second base into third is Josh Smith. And the Tigers of LSU take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. No outs, an 0-1 count. Papierski again trying to lay down a bunt. Again down the first base line, going to be gloved by Ingram. He'll toss back to Estes at first, covering for out number one rather, but Smith coming in to score. It's now 2-0. First pitch, Robertson lifts it deep to right field. Going back, though, is Daniel Robert, a step or two in front of the track. Tagging up will be Jordan. No attempt at a throw, and Jordan coming in to score. Robertson with a sacrifice fly, RBI. It's now 3-0 LSU. Bucks. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner.
9% strikes.
The 1-2 hit off the end of the bat. Slow roller at second. Freeman gloves it with the glove. Tosses to Coombs. Auburn done in the top of the fourth inning. It's in the bottom of the second. A pretty good bottom of the third and well on his way. But now Josh Smith will turn that on its head. Drives one into right field. Smith around first. The throw from Robert. Not going to be in time. Sliding into second. Nearly overrunning it. But Smith holds on by his fingertips.
And that guy is immeasurable.
The 0-2 hit high and deep to right field. Going back is Robert, and he will wave this bye-bye. Michael Papierski, his second home run in as many days. Another 2-run blast, and with that, it's 5-0 LSU. His 6th home run of the season, his second 2-run home run of this series.
RBIs number 20 and 21 for the Tiger catcher.
And in caps. Series to finish the season at Mississippi State. High fastball, swing and a miss. Gillikin down on strikes. The entire infield on the infield cut with a 2-1 pitch. Swinging away deep and high to left field. Now going back, Gillikin on the track will have a chance to make a grab. He does, but tagging up is Smith. And a sac fly RBI off the bat of Bo Jordan.
Zach Watson had another base hit that inning as well.
The 3-1 is popped up shallow right field. Going back, Estes. He can't find it. It's going to drop in right field.
Never saw it.
Watson scores. Robertson scores. And Freeman aboard at first base.
And what a huge break by the Tigers, for the Tigers.
Freeman on his way to second. Throw is down and not in time. Freeman in with a stolen base. Here's the 2-2 from Walker on its way. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. The 1-0 ground ball knocked down by Anthony at third. He'll pick it up, try to throw to first. Able to do so, but that's just out number 2 as Bo Jordan running on contact comes in to score. It's now 9-1 LSU for the 9th. The 1-0 hit high to center field. Watson going back, waiting on it. Makes the grab for out number 3, and the Tigers win and sweep the Auburn Tigers back to the Plains with a 9-1 victory here today.
Yeah, 5th inning, 4th or 5th. You know, you see the zeros and you start thinking about it, but you don't show it or talk about it. So it's not too bad, but you kind of know about it.
I guess that kick into another gear when Josh made that catch over at third.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought that was going to be the play. Like I was telling them earlier, Josh is my roommate, one of my best friends. So when he made that, when you watch MLB games, there's always that one play that kind of saves it, and I thought that would be it, but the next guy put a good swing on it, and good for him.
What was, I guess, sharper or crisper today than some of the past few weeks?
I think my off speed had a little bit more sharpness to it, a little bit more depth. I feel like lately I haven't really had that extra life to my pitches, and I was just kind of, trying to throw it where I wanted instead of just pitching. Today with the lead, I tried to just relax a little bit and get back to myself.
All right, we continue
series
with
there.
Tigers Road. Hey, that set the table for what you have this coming Thursday, Friday, Saturday of this week against the Bulldogs in Starkville.
Yeah.
We've kind of laid that out, but that sweep of Auburn, the point you made, the point Brian Lazar made, the pitching. They get that pitching again. State hits a little better than Auburn. I'll give them that. But they can ride that pitching.
State's got the advantage of home field. I think LSU's the better team. I really do.
They're certainly playing better now.
I think they're the better team.
The point you made earlier on that, but it's all going to matter when ump says play ball, and you got to get her done this weekend in Starkville. It's going to be packed.
Get ahead of the count.
And I think there'll be a large contingent of LSU fans there.
No question. I don't know how they get their tickets, but they'll find a way.
Oh, no, they're going to be there. Certainly, it's going to be easy to see the purple and gold mixed in. What is that, maroon?
Maroon,
yeah.
yes.
Mixed in, I knew it was maroon. Mixed in there, and they're going to be loud. They're going to have a presence at Duty Noble Field, no doubt.
It's tournament time, man. This is it. You're going for a championship. That's what
and State's playing for the same thing.
Absolutely.
State's playing to win the West.
No question.
So, I mean, the schedule makers, a huge tip of the hat. Florida, Kentucky, and Gainesville, LSU, Mississippi State, and Starkville.
And again, I love these Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. I love it. I know they're not going to do it because, school is out, right?
Well, they've always done this before Hoover. I say always.
Yeah, that's right.
Many years now to give that other day of rest or travel. And then, of course, they started getting off of the Easter Sunday so teams could be with families on Easter Sunday.
Smart.
I want to say the Southland Conference kind of passed that as a rule that weekend. And then, of course, TV has pushed it,
They're not going to do it throughout the course of the year because of the school environment. That means you leave on a Wednesday, you miss school Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
And it does have an effect on attendance. Some people just don't have Thursday night baseball programmed in. You got a lot of youth league games on Thursdays, that stuff. So you don't get the same number of butts
in our business. Thursdays are good.
Yeah, well, because it gives us
something to talk about.
Friday. You can wrap up Thursday. Get ready for the whole weekend, and then we can
plus
just
get
do
something to watch Thursday night. When the NBA playoffs are done, we got to have something to watch.
There you go. All right, we will take our final break on this week's edition of Tigers Roar. We'll come back, kick a few other things around for you. Jordy Helper, Tommy Christ, and spread the roar. You're watching Tigers Roar on Pelican Sports TV. Stay with us.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
Acord Eye Clinic Vision Source is located on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, offering full-service optical and lab work. Dr. Shonda Acord and the professionally trained staff pride themselves on service, complete eye exams, help with contact lenses, and selection of frames featuring Silhouette, Gucci, Jimmy Choo, and all the top lines. State-of-the-art equipment including Optimap, which digitally photographs your retina. Call Acord Eye Clinic for an appointment, 225-767-3937. That's 225-767-3937. Visit the website, visionsource-br.com. All patients of all ages are welcome. Acord Eye Clinic, Vision Source.
Hello, my name is Debbie. Welcome to Debbie's Bridal, a Formal Affair.
Raven. I work at Debbie's Bridal, and she makes your dreams come true.
Perkins Road Veterinary Hospital is a full-service veterinary hospital committed to your pet's health. We offer advanced diagnostic and therapeutic medical services, laser surgery, dog and cat diets, and treats, along with stress-free boarding. Dr. Ritchie sees patients for routine checkups to keep your loved ones happy, also advanced medical and surgical cases. We have separate condos for cat boarding and large climate-controlled canine boarding. Our boarding dogs get to have fun in a very large play yard several times a day. Laser therapy is a service that we offer to heal wounds and help our patients that suffer from chronic pain. Laser therapy is a wonderful adjunct treatment for neurologic and arthritic pain with no side effects. Your pets are family members and deserve the best and highest quality of care. Dr. Ritchie and his staff greatly respect the human-animal bond and are committed to exceeding your expectations.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
We continue with Tigers Roar. Again, original airing on Wednesdays. If you're catching this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, be it on Pelican Sports TV, WHNO TV channel 20 out of New Orleans, ETEL cable system. You have a rebroadcast going. We appreciate you watching when you can. And, of course, don't forget youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting, where you can get this program and many other things we do at your convenience, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Well, Jordy, I believe we've set the stage for the Tigers and the Bulldogs in Starkville, and the Starkville joke's been flying on the radio all week, and we'll come up with some more.
Skip's to blame for that.
Skip had a lot of good ones.
He's to blame on that.
You know, there's only one beauty parlor in Starkville, and they only give estimates.
They only give estimates.
I could let it go. I
like Starkville. Come on, a little love for Starkville.
Okay, move to Starkville.
Please, come on.
There you go. Jordy, we're going to run for mayor of Starkville. But anyway, hey, the NBA playoffs are going on.
Got the Preakness coming up. Always dreaming. Come on, baby.
Saints had mini camp. We'll keep up with the Saints. Maybe get a little more Saints for you next week on Tigers Roar. So there's a lot happening in the world of sports. Major League Baseball full speed ahead.
Astros are really, really good this year.
Astros
27
and the Rangers are very hot too. Rangers are very hot.
Come
all
on,
right, as we always say, it takes a bunch of people at the Pelican to put this thing together, and we appreciate all of their work. Most importantly, we appreciate you spreading the roar, telling people about the program, and taking your time to watch it. Original airing, the replays, YouTube, whatever. On behalf of Jordy Hultberg, I'm Tommy Chrysan. Thank you for watching Tigers Roar and Pelican Sports TV. We'll talk to you again soon.
Is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy, and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.